What's up, guys? It's me, Dracoak, and today I thought I'd do something different, but let's just skip the bullshit and get into it. I know you're here to learn how to make a basic Paladin deck, so we're gonna go over that. Basically, the overall goal of this deck is to overwhelm your opponent with a lot of 1/1 creatures. And you'll see why. We got a lot of buffs in here, and like, you know, Raid Leader, give your minions +1 attack, stuff like Frostwolf Warlord, and stuff like that. And then you have the Paladin Battlecry for 2 mana, which is 1/1 Silver Hand Recruit, and all of that can really add up. So board control is pretty important with this. I suppose we'll go over the minions first. Okay, we got the Stone Tusk Boar. This is a 1/1 with charge, and the charge is easily the most important thing. Like I was talking about earlier, you know, he'll combo with a lot of good buffs. If generally you're not going to want to play this card unless you have buffs to play with it, so then you can just attack as soon as you put them out there. And yeah, that's generally how you're going to want to play that card. So 2 Stone Tusk Boars, 1 mana cost, really efficient, and then we're going to put in 2 Acidic Swamp Oozes, and this is probably one of the more powerful 2 mana cost minions because it can destroy your opponent's weapon. And if you're going up like against a warrior, that can be extremely important. But yeah, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Now here, I put in 1 Bloodfin Raptor. It's 2 mana cost and it's a 3/2. That's pretty much the only reason I put it in there. And then 1 Gadget Zand Socialite. You can replace the Bloodfin Raptor for this, or vice versa. I just wanted to throw in a little HP regen, you know, because there's not really a lot of that in this deck. There's only one other card that regenerates any health. Alright, so now we have the Raid Leader. 3 mana cost is generally not good for a 2/2, but its ability, your other minions have +1 attack. That makes this pretty much self-explanatory, I would think. You don't want to play it on an empty field. You want to play it when you have, preferably, a bunch of creatures out, even if they're just, you know, 1/1 tokens, because if they're 1/1, that's doubling their attack, you know, and it can be pretty useful in times like that. Next, we will get to the Razorfin Hunter. You know, it's a 2/3, but when you summon it, you get a 1/1 boar. So 3 mana for that, not a bad trade. That can also go well with like Raid Leader or the other buffs. Just get another 1/1 token out there. It can help a lot in the long run. Now we have the Shattered Son Cleric. What's great about this one is there's a lot of times where I've had to use its battle cry on like a low minion, and then I could trade it for a really powerful minion and be able to destroy that minion with something that was originally just a 1/1 token. So as a paladin, you'll usually have something that you can use this battle cry for. It's a really good card to have in the deck. Chillwind Yeti. We're still going over the minions. I'll get back to that in a minute. Chillwind Yeti, and it's 4 mana for a 4/5. Just not bad. Put in 2 of those as well. And then I believe it's pronounced Sinjin Shieldmaster. 4 mana for a 3/5 with taunt. It's pretty decent. He'll protect your smaller minions, and then also you can buff it up. It can be really useful in a lot of situations, so I put 2 of those in as well. Now we'll get to the Frostwolf Warlord. 5 mana for a 4/4, but its battle cries, it gains +1/+1 for each other friendly minion on the battlefield. If you can stack your battle cry, silver hand recruits, or a bunch of other 1/1s and just get a field full of minions, this card is insanely powerful. It's just fantastic. So I threw 2 of those in as well. Next we have the Boulder Fist Ogre. 2 of them, they cost 6 mana, and it's just a regular 6/7. What's awesome about this card is that 1 extra health comes in handy, because you can use one of these against 2 other 6/6 minions. So you can trade this 1 6/7 for 2 6/6s if everything goes to plan like that. So I put 2 Boulder Fist Ogres in as well. It's very useful to have. And then, last but not least, we have 2 Stormwind Champions. Kind of like, well, exactly like the Raid Leader, except for it is a whopping 6/6. So he has that buff on the rest of your field, and then he's also a 6/6. So he's going to draw a lot of attention. Obviously, best to play that when you have a lot of other minions out there, even if they're just 1/1 tokens or something like that. But very useful card to have in the deck. Okay, let's move on to the Paladin Spells. We got Blessing of Might, 2 of these. It's just 1 mana for +3 attack. That goes extremely well with this Stone Tusk War right here, because you can throw 1 on that, and then that's 4 attack right there when you summon it. 4 damage, and if you have 2 of them, eat 2 of the Blessing of Might cards in your hand, that's even better. For 3 mana, you can do 7 damage to your opponent, all in 1 turn. Not bad at all. Next we have 2 Blessing of Kings. This will give a minion +4/+4. Obviously extremely important. +4/+4 is a pretty hefty buff. You can put that on the Sinjin Shield Master, which is what I do a lot, because, man, that's awesome to have on a creature with taunt. It's just a really good buff in general. So another way you'll want to use this buff is you can use it on one of your smaller creatures and trade it with a much bigger one. So it's also very useful in that way. The next Paladin card we have is Consecration. 4 mana, deals 2 damage to all enemies. That includes the enemy player. The enemy player also takes 2 damage, so that's extremely helpful. If a lot of the bigger minions are low on health, you can I've wiped out entire fields with this card. And you put 2 of them in there, if you can cast 2 at once, that's insanely OP, honestly. It's really useful against the decks that are just all about, you know, bam, 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 getting stuff out there and attacking you as much as possible. And then, after you use Consecration, your cheaper minions, like the 1/1s and everything, can just go in and destroy what's left of the minions after that, generally. So that's also extremely important to have. And the last card we have in here is a weapon. 2 True Silver Champions. You can make your hero, you know, yourself, if you're not aware, attack, and you will do 4 damage. You can either attack the enemy player or an enemy minion, and you will gain 2 health. And it has 2 charges, so you can attack twice with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The last tip I would have for you is to not play your entire hand at once if you don't absolutely have to, because this deck isn't really built to be, obviously, to refresh your hands, you know, so you'll just be stuck trying to get minions out there, and then they'll keep getting destroyed, and getting stuck in that cycle just really sucks, and you don't want that to happen because it is a guaranteed loss if that happens. But other than that, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and let me know what you think about the deck. Thanks, bye.